Hi everyone, Jan Fursdon here from Fursdon House. I'm going to attempt, emphasis on the word attempt, to make a video of the Christmas decorations I did this year. It doesn't include all of them that I normally put up, but I ran out of time. But these are the ones that are really important to me. And what I do is I use Christmas trees as a way of, it's basically a scrapbook of all the things that we've done. Things from my family and places we've been and just all kinds of things. And so this, I'm just going to start. This is the first one. And this is obviously my Shiny Bright ornament tree. They're all vintage ornaments on here. They average in range from like 1950s, 1960s. I don't think any are past 1960, I believe, or perhaps 65 at the latest. But I started collecting these over 30 years ago because I wanted something that looked like the ones that my grandmother had. Now, my grandmothers are still with my mom and both my aunts, but this, I loved them so much, and I thought, I want a collection myself to remind me of what grands look like. So I started this collection, onesies and twosies, and getting them on sale and stuff about 30 years ago. And this is what it is now. And the angel on top is one of the very few pieces that I have of my other grandmother, my paternal grandmother. She died when I was 9 years old. And I have a church music box, a sleigh, a wooden sleigh, which has to be repaired, and this angel. And she makes the perfect topping for this tree. So this is one of my favorite. Of course, they're all my favorites. They're just different. But anyway, I love this tree, and it has many memories in that it reminds me of so many things, and also just the collecting of them down through the years. So this is this particular tree, and these are, again, Shiny Bright ornaments. And I'm just going to pan over, and hopefully I won't lose anything. This is what I call my vintage jewelry tree. Although actually it's not vintage anymore. It's because it includes some things that are not vintage. What this tree, I created this tree. Let me see if I can get, I don't want to get too close to it. But what this tree is, I started this, again, years ago. I had all of this jewelry from both my grandmothers and my great aunt, and they were just sitting in a drawer. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't like things sitting in a drawer. I love these pieces simply because of who they belong to. And I say it's not all vintage now because now it includes pieces from my mother-in-law, who also passed away earlier this year. So these are pieces that are from ladies in my life that have passed on, and this is sort of a tribute to them. Everything on there belongs to them. So it's my grandmother Hoffman, my grandmother Klutz. Yes, their last name was Klutz, believe it or not. And my great aunt Arlie, and my mother-in-law Valerie. So this is a very special tree, and I love it. And it's changed over the years. Again, I started this probably about 15 years ago, I think, and it's changed over the years. I've used different trees, but I think this is my absolute favorite. And it includes, again, it's basically what you call costume jewelry, but I love the pieces. And the topper is a little sweater clip, and it has rings and watches and earrings and brooches. Some of these beautiful brooches that, we no longer wear them, but I love looking at them. And if pieces have broken, then I string them up anyway. But that's this tree. So I'm going to pause it and take you to another room because I don't want you to see my messy house, because it's definitely messy. I've had my grandkids and children here the past week or so, and it's messy. So hold on, and we'll get to the next one. Okay, so I'm back again, and this tree, I call it my vintage Christmas gadget tree. kitchen gadget tree, not Christmas. Well, it is a Christmas tree, obviously, but it's my vintage kitchen gadget tree. And again, I started this 10, 15 years ago, and it has morphed. But the reason I started is that I had inherited a couple of pieces again from my grandmother Klutz, and she and I were very close. She just passed away in '98, and I didn't want things in a drawer, and I love looking at these pieces, and I have some more out in my studio, which are kind of larger, that are too large to hang on a tree. Some pans and things that I use to sort things with. But I decided to create this tree so that I could include things from her. And I'll just pan in and show you a few particulars. And it includes things that my children used. It has some Hallmark ornaments that people have given me over the years. This piece here, that was my grand's. And let's see, here's her biscuit cutter. These little, let me see if I can get my finger in here. These little pans were used by my daughters. It's just full of really neat things. And I just love them. So there it is. I'm going to try and see. Again, I've collected these over the years. And I can go this way and you can see it. This is, let's see if I can, there, here. That's my granddaughter's christening mug. There's a, where's my thing? There is a spoon that I fed all three of both my daughters and my granddaughter with when they were babies. It has things like a Hershey's cocoa tin. It's an actual tin. They're all plastic now. And there's a red food coloring bottle full. It's encapsulated in plastic though. And here, this is really cool, is a glass bottle. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. That's how babies drank. Well, when I was growing up, they weren't all plastic. You can see the little candle holders back there. I purchased those because when I was little, my mom had taken me to a bakery for my birthday, and we didn't have much money at all. Well, we didn't have really any money at all. And for my birthday, she'd take me to this bakery, and I could get a cupcake or a cookie or whatever. And I saw this cupcake that had this little pink bird on it with a candle. Let me see if I can. And I had forgotten all about it. And one day I was on Etsy looking for something else, and I came across these, and of course I was immediately reminded of that event when I was younger. And so I purchased those, and I just love having them. There's 2 sets of 3. Just love them. And what else do we have here? I mean, there's all kinds of neat things. Cookie cutters, the little coffee pot from a child's set. Up at the top on the right, you can see a little cup and saucer that my daughters had. It's just really neat. There's the Starbucks cup. My granddaughter loves Starbucks. And just different things that they use. On the bottom right is a little cupcake tin. It's not mine, but I had one identical to it. And that's, those are really special to me. And there you see a miniature ice tray. How many of you do remember ice trays? This one's a miniature one, I think. I don't know why it was so small, but my guess is that it came from like, it was used for cocktails or something. But we had this large one, and they were anything but easy to open. There's a thing of vanilla. It's just the box, because our family loves vanilla. You have potato mashers and spatulas, and it's just a lot of fun to look at. Sharpeners, knife sharpeners, and sifters and slicers and things. There's nothing new under the sun. It was all done before. It was just using different equipment. And we also have a wreath. The angel at the top, again, it was not mine when I was little, but I had one identical to it. And you can see the cookie cutters, and this is a special piece that was added this year, the ice cream scoop. And it's blue. It's a very unusual color. It belonged to my mother-in-law, Valerie. And she said, I want you to put this on your Christmas tree, the one with all the kitchen gadgets. And I said, well, no, you use it. And she used it up to the very end. She loved ice cream. And now that she's passed, I've added it. And there's a vanilla bottle and more squishers and squashers and all kinds of things. And that's another baby bottle. This one's a small one. More slicers and melon ball scoops and a little green jar. I think that means it was for medicine. So there's that. And we have the little man cookie cutter in the center. So that was just a lot of fun to make. And this one, the little hatchet, I bought that this year at an old antique mall, one of those malls that have 60,000, what do you call them? I can't remember the word now, where it's different areas and people rent the space, and I had never seen a hatchet, and so I added it to the collection this year. Right above that is a can opener. So all of these are vintage. Again, 1950s, 1960s, some from the 70s. All right, now we'll go to another tree. Hold on just a second. Okay, this is the nautical tree. My husband is an avid swimmer and an avid, he's a master diver. And he is about to start studying to be a dive master. He took my daughter, my grandmother, I'll get it right in a minute, my granddaughter, Isabel, and they started doing scuba diving when she was about, I think, 13, and by 15, she was a master diver as well. But on this tree I started this tree when he was sent to Korea in 1997, and of course, it was a Christmas without him, and I get stir crazy, and my girls were old enough, they had their own things going on. So I started with a much smaller tree and seashells that we had collected whenever we would visit places. And now what it includes are ships that we have collected from all the places that we have been to, all the countries we've traveled to. People have given us presents. It includes nautical ornaments of every kind. These are my husband's favorites, the two scuba diving Santas. And then last year I found, let me see, where are they? Where are they? Oh, here they are. The scuba diving man and the scuba diving girl. And you can see how wild it gets. And it has been so much fun. Like I said, ornaments from all over the place. Coral. That's a lovely lionfish there. That beautiful sand dollar Nigel found on the Atlantic Ocean floor just off the coast of South Carolina last year. And it's just been a lot of fun to put together. I love him. This is a crab, and his legs all come apart and everything, and he moves. He's just really cool. And you see there's a piece of, it's a barnacle. So pretty. And then at the base I have more ships that we've collected. Aren't these beautiful? Just all kinds of things. So that's this tree. And And this room is our den, and I call it Fursdon Harbor because normally I have a village up here, but you can see that Nigel loves anything to do with water. We have ships all over the house. And then I did curtains out of some netting and just hung up. There's our stockings and more ships. And I just hung up seashells on them. So that's our curtains for in here. So hold on and we'll go to another tree. Okay, here we have, this is a relatively new tree. I started about 2 years ago. We had all of these ornaments from various countries that the family has visited or been deployed to or been just all over the place. And my husband's family are all from England, so there's plenty of representation from England, and one of our favorite countries is Germany, and there's plenty of stuff from Germany. You have the little cuckoo clock up at the top. So we just started putting ornaments on it because the traditional tree can only hold so many. And I think it's turned out really well. The little post box, you don't see many of those anymore in England. There's Big Ben. And then the crown ornament that my mother-in-law Valerie gave me a couple of years ago. The little sock came from Japan when my daughter was in Japan. And there's a bird there that's from Ruatan. Little beef eater, a little cruise ship. Papa, or I'm not sure how it's pronounced, where my daughter was at. A little Japanese New Year celebration. The black English cab. And the nutcracker. And some more decorations. You can tell that my grandsons have helped me rearrange things. Those are both from Japan. And the little cup is from Jamaica. And in there is a little beer stein. Now this, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but oh well, maybe I am. This came from 1980 when I had given my husband a birthday card. It's our first duty station in El Paso, Texas, and it's a piñata. And I saved that. I put it with all my papers and stuff. And then one year I came across it and I thought, perfect. It can go on this tree. So there it is from 1980. It's a Hallmark card, I think. And again, that's from Japan. Beautiful little kiwi from New Zealand. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, this is funny. The little cup of noodles. I think they originated in Japan, I believe. And they had a factory, and when my granddaughter was visiting my daughter there, they went to the cup of noodles factory. And there they got an ornament. This is a beautiful little piece from, isn't that sweet? From the Caribbean. Let's see what else. Nigel's pirate ornaments. This one's from Mexico. This came from Afghanistan. So, anyway. And I'm trying to keep the lights off because they actually look better. They show up more. Let's see what all we have around here. There's a little camel from Afghanistan and a little nativity from Aruba and Korea. A little monkey from the Caribbean. Just all kinds of neat things. Okay, hold on just a second. Now this tree started when my mother-in-law had an antique shop for about 40 plus years. And she had ordered or purchased a large piece of furniture from England. She specialized in English and French antiques. And when this large piece, I think it was like a chest on chest or something, was huge. And inside there were these little paper mache animals. They're antique, And let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a lion, there's an elephant, and I think a bull, and a horse, and then a little lion there. And she gave them to my daughters, and of course they played with them for the longest time and then stopped playing with them. I thought, okay, they're not going in a drawer, so I made a little tree just for them. And I put, using hot glue, I just put some candles on there because the original Christmas trees, they actually used candles on them. They only lit them for a little while, and they had like sand and water nearby in case the tree caught fire. But anyway, that's that one. Now, hold on just... Okay, this is the cat tree. We have had so many cats over the years, and the stuffed ones are when my granddaughter was little, and it just represents all of the cats that we've had, and we've had so much fun with them, and different ornaments and things, and it also represents, let's see, which one's that? That's Sebastian. He died last December. Such an amazing cat. And let's see, here's his Bus and Seabass. Seabass is Sebastian. Bus is Dundee, our cat. He's about 17 years old now, and he's just precious, but he's really, really aging, so we have to be careful with him. And there's another one of Dundee, so he's an orange cat. Whoops, get my finger out of there. We've got several of Dundee. He's probably the oldest cat that we've ever had. Just sweet cat ornaments. Okay, so now we go to another tree. Okay, this tree is very special. It's my husband's favorite. Well, it's either this one's his favorite or the nautical tree. This one is the military tree. And I started this because I found this box of military things that my husband's retired Army, and he had all of this stuff put in this big box, and then he had a bunch of stuff from the first Gulf War where he was deployed, and I just decided to make a tree. Again, these are like scrapbooks showing all the things that we've done, the places we've been, and now it includes things from both my daughters and my son-in-law. My oldest daughter was in the Air Force. She's out now. And then my youngest daughter and my son-in-law are still in the Air Force. So this includes items from them. And then the flags on the top, three of the flags were what my daughters, no, I'm sorry, three of the flags, myself and my two daughters, we waved when Nigel was coming home from the Gulf War, when we first saw him. And then two of the flags are from my grandsons who were born in South Korea, and they're adopted. And last year, I think it was last year, in March of last year, the adoption finally was finalized. And this was done down in Montgomery, Alabama. And they came running in. They wouldn't let us go, unfortunately, because of COVID restrictions. Thank you very much. But when they came running in the house, the boys were so excited, and they were waving the little flag and saying, "Gummy, Gummy, we're citizens, we're citizens." So those are just such precious memories. Let me get a little closer and you can see. And I've also put things like planes and Jeeps. There's some of Nigel's rank at one point, and ear protection, and a belt buckle. I mean, all kinds of silly things. The hand grenade is not real, people. It's a lighter or a flashlight. There's a little tank. Things from Korea. Some of the unit crests, and it's got all the medals. He doesn't want them hanging up anywhere. So I'm like, okay, well, here's dog tags. He was with the big red one. Name tag. Medals and things. It's just a lot of fun to put those together. That metal came from Saudi Arabia. Or buttons, yes, buttons. Now they use Velcro. Why it took them so long to go to Velcro, I do not know. Unit crests, rank. That one is an Air Force rank on my daughter's rank. I think that's current. Now let's see, where else do we have? The two little, there were three, two daddies and one Nigel. And again, those are things that we had for welcoming Nigel home from the Gulf War. Tie yellow ribbon, that kind of thing. But, and also up here somewhere are bracelets that we wore while he was gone that had his name and rank on them. Nigel's tanks. He loves tanks. There are about 5 tanks, large tanks like that on here. Just really neat items. And then underneath, I've put collections that were too large to go on the tree. We have the bears. 2 of the bears belong to our daughters, and one of the bears belonged to my granddaughter, and then one of the bears, I believe, belonged to our grandsons. Flashlight he used in the Gulf War. There's a shell casing and a little ammo box that Nigel got that from Cabela's, I believe. It has chocolate in it, not ammo. And then he found a thermos that was in the shape of a shell. That's Desert Storm water bottle that he brought back. So anyway, that's this tree. And like I said, it's one of Nigel's favorites. So hold on, we're running out of trees, believe it or not. So hold on, and I'll take you, I think, to the final one. So here we are in the living room, and this is my nativity. The artist is Jim Shore. If you look up in there, there's an angel back in there. I love the way he represented different things on their robes and things, following the angel. Sometimes I put moss down, sometimes I use this piece of cloth. Just depends. And this is Mary and Joseph and the baby. And this is actual fabric here. It's so beautiful, and I love the simplicity of it. It's hard to see with the light behind it, but it's one of my favorite pieces. Okay. And this is what my granddaughter made this year. I thought it was sweet. She is amazingly talented. I mean, remove the Santa, she didn't do that, but I just stuck him up there because when the boys were here, they were kind of playing with him and moving him around, and I thought that was sweet. And I think what I'm going to do is make 2 videos because I'm afraid I'm about out of time and I have too much to kind of squeeze in. So this will be the first of the videos, and then so watch for another one. Again, this is Jan Fursdon from Fursdon House. I hope you've had a blessed Christmas. May you have a lovely new year, and may God bless. Bye-bye.